My name is Bob Schubert. I'm a resident of Rye. I'm sitting here pondering on a letter from Ned Gerrity. It's 2 years old, the letter, and unfortunately, our real friend Ned passed away a few months ago. And I quote, "What I express in the letter that follows is an opinion widely held by many Rye residents. Remember, I am not a Republican. I am a registered Democrat, and I vote as I see things. I worked for JFK, Lyndon Johnson, Bobby Kennedy, Kenny O'Donnell was a good friend of mine. So was Hubert Humphrey, Dick Scammon, John Bailey, and Cliff Carter, and others." November 6, 2007, mark it well, for it was on that day that the gullied voters of the city of Rye were forced to vote in a no-choice election. 3 council seats were at stake. There were only 3 candidates to choose from, thanks to a secret deal between the Democratic and Republican city chairman. Not exactly an example of democracy at work. More like an election in Cuba or Venezuela, based on the Stalin model. Rye's voters will remember the candidates who will take office on New Year's Day: Parker, Gamache Neville, and Sack. One assumes these college grads are familiar with the Constitution and Declaration of Independence and believe in life, liberty, and justice for all. I'll bet they love children and senior citizens and pets and mom's apple pie and adore members of our armed forces. But they don't bat an eye about subverting their neighbors' rights to vote. One might describe that as an act of moral violence. But they are not alone. No one elected Rye official has denounced this Machiavellian maneuver, which cries out for investigation. Not our mayor, who piously prattles on public television as the camera moves in for a close-up about justice for all. And yet he will tell a senior citizen who has suffered severe, costly damage to his home because of city bungling to buzz off. Mayor Otis is in his 3rd term, and the city is crumbling about him. Streets and sidewalks are falling apart. Downtown's business center is slowly eroding. Traffic control is non-existent, with an antiquated signal system that could be improved with some creative thinking. It took 2 serious storms with concomitant flooding for him to even begin to grapple with a remedial plan. Our mayor, remember, didn't know our only supermarket was leaving town until it disappeared. And he says nothing about the deterioration of our postal service. You can't park at the Rye post office. The service windows don't open until 10 a.m. Check out the far superior service at Harrison, Purchase, Mamaroneck, and Larchmont. He has never explained the $1 million overrun at the Milton Point Firehouse. with the constant erosion of property rights as zoning regulations are ignored or strange variances granted, perhaps we should have seen voting rights as the next target. We were blindsided. Those amongst us who put personal ambitions, their desire for power above the common good, sneaked under the radar and took away our right of choice in an election. And now these masterminds, Douglas McKeon and Anthony Pichonier, Democratic and Republican city chairmen respectively, are taking bows. They attended the victory celebration on election night while Mayor Otis read the returns. Our county executive is silent on the matter, perhaps too busy learning to eat with chopsticks. And while taxes increase and government payrolls grow, the county medical center founders and kids lose their lives at Playland. The Board of Legislatures debates whether to put calorie counts on the restaurant menu. Rye voters are deprived of a birthright, and the district attorney is mute. The silence is deafening, and as the Talmud, it teaches silence means nothing. Make no mistake, evil is abroad this November in Rye, as it was in Nazi Germany in November 1938. Not to worry, the perpetrators and their pawns claim to be of goodwill. But Rye's voters will not forget. Remember the names well. Remember the date, a day that will live in infamy. I write as a combat veteran of World War II. A lot of men who fought as I never came home. I was lucky, thanks to our Creator, and I did not come home to have my rights stolen. I speak for many, many fellow Rye citizens. Signed, Ned Gerrity. I know this letter is 2 years old, but it's as appropriate today as it was yesterday.